Chicago is 6,990 miles from the Middle East. What first comes to your mind when you meet people from the region? How would they define the Arab identity? And what do they think about the world?
They're all violent, which isn't true. Often whenever you watch the news, all the Arabs that are on the news are all yelling and violent and throwing out random phrases, and I mean, that's not your everyday Arab.
Most recently, that show Homeland, I haven't watched it, but I read a lot about it, and it's very both Islamophobic and it fosters negative sentiment towards Arabs.
Tie the term Arab with anyone who's Muslim. We have also Christians and also very limited number of Jews who are Arab.
They're conservative. It's not true. We vary in different mentalities and different ways of living. It's completely wrong to just stereotype a whole region of the world.
How do they define the Arab identity? Are they Arab Americans or American Arabs?
One main thing is language, because language and culture are so intertwined.
Arabic language is very important, and since we all either have parents who speak Arabic or we were taught Arabic as young children, that the language really ties us together.
And my parents raised us as Palestinian Americans. We went to Sunday school to learn about our Arabian culture, but we went to school like everybody else in our neighborhood. And we also had that extra class on Sunday that we learned Arabic and got to know a little bit more of our culture.
I would say I'm pretty 50-50. I would never say that I'm American over Syrian or Syrian over American. I used to go to Syria every summer for 3 months. So you can say that a quarter of my life was spent there. So I do feel really connected.
We all kind of share. We eat the same foods for the most part. We speak the same languages, and there's just a lot of things we have in common, like how our parents raised us sometimes. It just varies. Shape how I've been raised and how I live. My American side and then my Arab side, and they work.
Even though I've lived here in America, my dad immigrated to America, but he's still, when we were little, he would talk to us in Arabic, and it's really family-oriented. I go back to Lebanon every summer.
The Arab Spring was a revolution started by youths our age. What do they have to say about the movement?
The reasons for the Arab Spring to start were, the typical reasons like poverty, hunger, corruption, inequality.
After almost 30 years of oppression, the people take to the streets to remove President Mubarak, a man they call a tyrant, who they believe looted the country of billions of dollars. With the army in control and the Muslim Brotherhood the biggest power bloc in the country, Egypt now faces its biggest challenge.
It's sort of a system right now where we replaced one system, Mubarak regime, and right now we have a new regime, the Muslim Brotherhood, and we sort of feel like it's the same system over and over again. The corruption hasn't changed, poverty's still there, so it's not the people who are in charge, it's more of the system that had to be changed, and I think a lot of people now feel like this system hasn't changed. If I was in Egypt, I would have participated. I'm fortunate to be here while all this unraveled.
I would personally agree with the actions that instigated the Arab Spring and then the various revolts that happened around the Middle East. I think any country that goes into a revolution and changes politically is inevitable to go through a period of instability and chaos.
For Libya, for example, it's a tribal conflict mainly. In Syria, Iran is involved. In Egypt, unlike Tunisia, it's a military-based country, so there was a big change from military ruling to civil ruling.
It might seem chaotic now, but I think a lot of people feel like in the long run it's worth it.
As Arabs here in America, we leave all of our ties back home, maybe Lebanese people don't get along with Syrian people or something like this. We leave that all behind, and since we're here in America, it's we kind of forget about all those problems and try to become friends.